there he made a promise of giving them some items, relief items. So we have to follow it up with the promise, and because he is not around, or he wasn't around, the minority in parliament led by the leader and the NDC national executives joined to represent the president to do the presentation on his behalf. So that is actually what happened there. And so the items were brought on that day. There was a little of a deba to actually distribute these items to the affected areas. And in all, 11 constituencies were underwater, and so this has to be done to them. Some of the constituencies: North Tong, South Tong, Central Tong, Anglo, Keta, Ketu South, Kwando, North Dai, South Dai, Afajato South, and Sujama constituency in the eastern region. So these are some of the affected areas or constituencies. So the items were distributed to them. Let me mention some of the items that were distributed. And rice, for example, the former president gave them 2,000 bags of rice. 2,000 bags of rice. Then also cooking oil, 500 boxes
of cooking oil.
Yes, of cooking oil. Then tin tomatoes is also 500 boxes. Then we come to tin fish, 500 boxes. Then packed water or bottled water, it is 1,000 boxes or packs. These are some of the items, and I believe this is in the first phase, because the second batch of the relief items will also go very soon. That is according to the information that I have. So a deba was done to signify the distribution at Pando. And so Pando was, was the depot where the items were deposited. So that
is that Sogakope or Pando?
Sorry, Sogakope. Sogakope. So then from there, it will be distributed to the various areas. Right from there, we went to. So I was able to. I had opportunity to speak with some of the women, especially. The men were complaining about the damage of the wash away of their farms. And the women were also talking about the fact that, especially the market women. So now the markets are underwater. They can't go to. They can't go to work. Let me put it that way. And it is very devastating, especially for those who were in the market. First and foremost, before they had the information that this is what is happening. By the time they go home, they couldn't even pick they couldn't even pick one item.
Not a single item?
Nothing.
So they were in the market when this happened?
Exactly.
By the time they got home?
Everything was gone.
Wow.
Everything was gone. And
did they tell you where they were living?
Okay, so they mentioned the names, but obviously some of the names. But yes.
I mean, like for now.
So
they've moved
some of them told me that there is a temporary school blog, like a primary school or GHS, that the students or the people are not in school now because of the issue or the situation. So that is where they are sleeping for now. There's this woman that I spoke with, the child, very like 6 months or 8 months, everything is gone. Now, the baby is not wearing anything because there's nothing. Yes.
The baby was completely naked.
Completely naked.
So they've lost all their clothing.
Before she could even come to where the program was ongoing, she has to ask somebody to give the slippers. So let me put it this way, that she even borrowed a slippers from a friend before she was able to come to the place where the program took place. So this is the situation.
So you're talking about even clothes for babies.
Yes.
Children.
Yes.
You're talking about clothes for the women themselves, the men, and everything. Those are all things that they require at this moment.
Exactly. So, for example, Sana, if you were not around or you were not home, and this happened, and you were wearing this dress, that means that for the subsequent days to come, you will be wearing this one. You'd be doing wash, something that perhaps you have to wash and wear. So you wash when you have find some.
There was one person you spoke to when I was listening to the voices. There was one man you asked the person where he or she was it a woman?
Yes, the woman.
Where she got the clothes from, and she said people brought items and then she had it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I listened to that voice.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is not. And some also have fish pond.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Okay.
So aside from their properties, I mean, their livelihood is also
That's for that one.
challenged in a way. So business is actually off in these affected areas if you are into farming. We went to that name. The other side,
Galo Sota.
Galo Sota. We went to Galo Sota to. Okay, so before we leave here, I spoke with the vice regional chairman.
The Sogakope Bridge.
Yes,
and
yes, it was very full, very, very full. And this is almost about to hit the bridge, the beneath of the bridge. I mean the under.
Okay.
Of the bridge.
Okay.
It
so
was, and the waves
just below the bridge.
It was just. It's like waves. It was just. I don't know. Is it there's something that they call Motian Frama. You understand? And so the thing go in circle speed. I don't know where you are getting what I'm saying.
Yes. I haven't.
It's turning like there's a machine under the water that is turning the water. Okay. So the water is going around like, you understand. So that is how the situation, or when you look at the water or the river, that is how it is behaving. The water is behaving. You understand. So it means that it's rushing. It's coming with force. You understand. And so in that same place, there is a much like I spoke with the vice regional chairman of the NDC in that region, Egypt, Kuduto.
Yeah.
And he told me that the mortuary, we have dead people, I mean, corpses.
Yeah, yes.
And the water has carried some of them, or the water has invaded the area. The hospital, the mortuary is underwater. When we went to Galo Sota, they actually had a public toilet. Excuse me, I mean, it is very early in the morning, but it's a place of convenience. That the water has taken over the place, and you can imagine.
Okay.
And their utensils, especially those who everything has been washed away. They have, I don't know what their friend is mutia. So where they smoke the fish, or they fry the fish, everything has been washed away. Do you get it? And in the evening, I don't know whether that is real mosquitoes or something, just like some insects. They come in their full force, yes, too. And also, so they told me that this mosquitoes. And
the lot.
Exactly, they can't even sleep. The moment it is 4 in the evening, then this insect starts coming. The situation, Nancy, no other person would love to find his or herself in this particular situation.
Okay.
It is very, very, very serious. So aside from the economic hardship that this particular spillage will bring to the people, there's another health.
Okay.
You understand?
So the water is breeding a lot of mosquitoes now.
Yes. And that place to Galo Sota, to where the community is just close to a river.
Okay.
But they were telling me that initially they can just walk some of the places. I think Alaska is showing some of the pictures, the videos. So they can easily walk. It's just like a footpath.
Okay.
But because it is close, their area is also close to the river. The river became overflown like a year. And your friend is saying, so the water actually entered into their houses or their rooms.
Okay.
And so now, before you can go to your house, you have to use a canoe
to get to your house. Okay. But if you say the rooms are flooded, what are they doing in the house?
No, they are not in their rooms. So they are, all of them have either moved to a place that they can have comfort. Yes, so they are not. But unless maybe you just want to, because 2-3 days or like some few days, you want to go and see the situation in your room and see if there's anything that you can pick.
Okay.
So that's the reason why perhaps they will go back to the rooms and check
and come back.
Exactly.
Wow. And he said there's a public latrine that's been covered.
Exactly. Yeah. And it is underwater, you can imagine.
So right now it is.
Right now, where would you go and have, ease yourself?
Then it's that also means there's a public health issue.
Exactly. Well, like I said.
That's for Galo Sota.
That is Galo Sota.
Could you identify the houses that were flooded?
No, because you can't go there. Unless you end this, when we got there, they were using only one canoe. Mm-hmm. Do you understand?
So if you want to access the
area, you have to wait. Yes, because I saw, at the point in time, I saw like 5 women coming to our side, in the canoe. Mm-hmm. So if I also want to go there, that means that I have to use a canoe.
You have to join the canoe.
Exactly.
Okay. So where were they? Were they in a school? Where were they gathered?
Okay, so just like the banks of the river, it's not far from the bridge. Okay. I don't know whether you get to the area that I'm trying to. So it is not far. So it's just within the community, but it is close to the river. Within the community, it's not a school. When we had the program, it wasn't a school block or a school area environment. It is just the community, very far from. And some of the women or the mothers, they have taken their children, those who are in school, and because of this situation, to other areas or other communities where they are not affected, and their other relatives are taking care of their children for them.
I see. Well, you said perhaps they may be returning with more items.
Yes. The former President John Dramani Mahama actually made that promise. So this is the first batch of the promise, and so the second one will also follow very soon.
I see. That's Patrick. Patrick went all the way to to my constituency, South Tong. Right? Where you gathered when we were growing up was called Unipetro.
Unipetro.
You see the filling station?
Yes.
Initially it was Unipetro.
I even saw your friend.
Who?
Maso.
Maso Lukuto. Okay. It belonged to a man called Ahaji. I think he passed on subsequently. And it was one of the first filling stations after the other one there. So there it was a whole gathering place. So Christmas, everybody will go there. It was free.
And the next time you are going to Abuja, you should learn how to speak over.
No, but I think you have to. You still have to. What do you call it? Organize something for me. Let me go back to my pet because because of the military issue. Do you get it? And I don't know, but I'm getting
and I was going to ask
that.
Nancy that because Nancy was the one who drew our attention to that video that Honorable Kujeto Ablakwa circulated. And if you go on his Facebook page, I think he talked about the situation. There are some posts he made actually.
Yeah, he's been making some posts.
Yes, it's there. The video even is there. But you see, Nancy and Senna, the water couples in this house, you people didn't treat me well at all.
Why?
Because when this issue came, you should have said
the platform to be saying this.
No. Let me say it.
You won't say it.
Showdown.
I think okay. So I would address that.
We'll address that in the press conference,
not the platform.
In the press conference.
But thank you, Patrick. Patrick was in Sogakope and then Galo Sota. Nancy, so how did he start?
So this is 18 hours ago.
Okay.
And he said, who, quote, above, has given orders to the military detachment helping us cause flood waters to immediately withdraw when the water levels haven't receded and when thousands of lives are at stake and comes across these waters. Who in government is behind this utter cruelty?
Okay.
That was 18 hours ago.
Okay.
Then 13 hours ago, he says, I am able to confirm that the military did indeed return following the reversal of that devious order from above.
Okay.
Let's be clear, the over 12,000 displaced beloved constituents of mine have done nothing wrong to deserve their current VRA-induced predicament. All we ask for is empathy and justice.
So, and I guess he was talking. What was the military's work?
Yeah.
In rescuing the people.
Yes, they have been using their boats to convey people from one place to the other. So, the spillage, the floods have cut off communities from others. Even from one point to where the camp is, you need boats to cross to those areas. And so what they do is that they are helping with their boats, their canoes, the military, to cross people to different points in the constituency. And that was what happened yesterday when they packed their things and said there was an order for them to move.
An order?
They have the military has released a press statement where they are saying that they have noticed that the level of the water at Mepe had gone down, and so they were moving these people from Mepe to other parts they thought.
Which other part?
Other parts they thought still had their issue was severe more than Mepe at the time. So that was what they were doing. And now they've returned to Mepe. So what has happened to the other parts of the area they were saying they were moving the people from Mepe to? I just think that it was because the video from Honorable Kujeto Ablaka had gone viral and they've seen the backlash from the public. So they have to do a U-turn. That's it for me. Simple like that.
Okay. So this is...
But seriously, I don't understand why that should happen. It means that we are not considering this as a disaster.
No. What do you mean?
Yes, Sana, if the military is helping people at this time and then they are just moving, these soldiers will not just move on their own. And so if the military is saying that they were not given any order from above, it's a lie.
Okay.
Do you get it? Okay. Because they will not just get up and move.
Okay.
They should have an order from somewhere to move.
Okay.
Before they will pack their things, because they were just packing everything of theirs and they were leaving site.
Okay.
If this is happening, it means that as a country, we are not treating this as a disaster.
Okay.
And that is the posture from the state from the beginning. They've had cause to declare a state of emergency. They've ignored. President Akufo-Addo went there, reluctantly went there, insulted the people, the chiefs and the people with nothing, gave them nothing and came back. Vice President went there, was in a hotel, asked the people, the victims to come to him in his hotel so that he can tell them what he has for them.
He wanted the victim to visit him.
Yes.
He visit the victims.
And gave them how much? 160,000. Was that the amount?
Yes.
160,000 was what the vice president took there. Do you get it? So it tells you clearly that as government is not treating this as a disaster. They don't see like there's nothing wrong really for them.
Nothing has happened.
Nothing has happened. It is normal. It is normal. Let's leave them. They would find themselves. They will find a way out. That is what I can see.
For the benefit of our listeners, this is the Ghana Armed Forces. The statement Nancy referred to, the Ghana Armed Forces wishes to debunk some media reports and series of social media posts, especially on X, claiming that military personnel deployed to Mepe in Volta region for humanitarian relief operations following the spillage of Asford Boadu have been withdrawn. Ghana Armed Forces wishes to categorically state that information in circulation is inaccurate and that the personnel have not been given any orders from above to withdraw from Mepe or any other community affected by the spillage, contrary to the social media posts. It must be emphasized that the humanitarian relief operations, Operation Boafo, being conducted by the Ghana Navy's Rivering Command and the 48th Engineer Regiment of the Army is being executed in phases. As of 22nd October 2023, the situation in Mepe has been brought under considerable control, and personnel and equipment to other distressed communities around Bato and its environs which were in dire need of support. Following the deployment of additional personnel and equipment to this distressed community, the operations being conducted have been varied to suit the evolving situation. It must be placed on record that for the purposes of this operation, Ghana Forces has established an emergency operations center which is coordinating all the Ghana Forces activities in a harmonized manner in conjunction with NADMO. Ghana Forces therefore wishes to assure the general public that, as recently reported in the media, with the thousands of persons rescued and marked efforts being made to support victims, it will not relent in the quest to ensure urgent, equitable, and appropriate response and support to all persons and communities affected by the spillage in conjunction with all stakeholders. And I think a key part is because I don't understand the English at some point. I don't know, sometimes when these people issue statement, they issue statement for themselves. It must be emphasized that the humanitarian relief being conducted by the Ghana Navy's Riverine Command and the 48th Engineer Regiment of the Army is being executed in phases. So phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. They are now telling us. They says somehow they are more prepared than everybody else. As of October 22nd October 2023, the situation in Mepe has been brought under considerable control. Okay. So that is one part. And therefore, it became necessary to urgently redeploy some personnel and equipment to other distressed communities around Bato and these environs which were in dire need of support. Now, this is the funny part. This is Member of Parliament for Norton. Bato is in his constituency.
Yeah.
Mepe in his constituency. If he says you are leaving Mepe and he didn't know that you are going to Bato, and this is weird. Member of Parliament for the constituency makes a video with, I think, TV3, which was heavily circulated. I don't know whether it was originally from him or from and says that you are leaving his constituency. He didn't say that you're only leaving Mepe. Because if you were going to Bato,
that's still under him.
He should know. Okay. If the people had told him,